Oh, hey there. When you're visiting Minnesota, you're going to want to do some fishing. Because look at all these lakes, rivers, streams, and ponds. Did I say lakes already? And as big as they are, you're going to get a lot of fish. This, my friends, is a sturgeon. And they are fucking huge. Fishing for sturgeon is pretty straightforward. You need a tag, and there's only a limit of 1 per person per calendar year for these ginormous fish. But I mean, really, 1 fish will last a person an entire fucking year. This big bastard is a northern pike. Now, the daily limits on the northern pikes will vary from zone to zone, but the total possession limit is 10. And with the northern pike, we only want you catching the big ones. So anywhere between 30 and 40 inches, you gotta throw back, babe. And this, my friends, is a walleye. Look how big that guy is. Not so bad. That's some good fishing right there and some good eating too. Fishing for walleye can be done year round, but you can only have a total possession of 6, with only one of those being over 20 inches long. That's what she said. Don't you know, we definitely got ourselves some bass. That's a big old largemouth bass. We have sporting seasons out here in Minnesota too. The sporting fishing license is going to be a little bit more than a regular standard adult fishing license, which the adult fishing license annually is only $25. Kids fishing license are only $5, and that's for the entire year because we want you out there fishing. Next to the largemouth bass, we have, don't you know, it's a smallmouth bass. Now, some of you might be wondering what the difference is between a smallmouth and a largemouth bass, and how can you tell? See, now if you put the two side by side, it's pretty obvious to tell which one is a largemouth bass. Another member of the bass family is a rock bass. Rock bass. Rock bass? Rock bass. Bass. Here's a closer look at a rock bass. Rock bass season is also year-round with a possession limit of 30. In Minnesota, the most common fish we got is probably the trout. We've got many different species of trout, more species than Bubba Gump has shrimp. This big fucker is a brown trout because it's like brown. Now, another very common trout fish in Minnesota is right here, the steelhead trout. Now, the steelhead trout comes in 2 different types. We've got your standard type right here, and the really gay version of that called the rainbow trout. Now, you can tell a rainbow trout by its rainbowness. That's a pretty gay fish. You know, the best way to catch a rainbow trout or a really gay steelhead trout, you guessed it, gay glitter bait. See how nice and gay that is? It's all glittery. Now, if you don't have super sparkly gay bait, you could try using other fish's children bait. Now, using other fish's children bait is especially enticing to the gay rainbow trout because it would like to convert them into gayness as well. Now, the rules for fishing for trout can vary greatly. So you're going to want to go to visit the Department of Natural Resources Minnesota.gov website. Another super common fish in Minnesota is the crappie. The crappie also has a year-round fishing season with a daily limit of 5 and a total possession limit of 10. Let's take a closer look at how to identify a crappie. There it is. Another super common fish in Minnesota is a sunfish. And you can typically identify a sunfish by its sunny disposition. Sunnies have a year-round fishing season with a daily limit of 5 and a total possession of 20. Now, I know you're all excited about going fishing, but before you grab your rod, make sure you visit this website to make sure that you're following all the rules and regulations.